So we're here with Steve with Otis
Otis Kenyon.
Excuse my accent, you guys know English is my third language. So I want you to tell me about the logo. It's one of my favorite ones. It's very classy, very masculine, very timeless. So tell me about it. What was the inspiration?
Well, it's a little edgy as well, because this silhouette is of my grandfather's, taken from an old photograph. And my grandfather was a dentist in a small town in eastern Oregon, very close to where our winery is now. He was the only dentist in town. Another dentist moved in, and my grandfather burnt the other dentist's office to the ground. So you can see we have a burnt edge here. We've got sort of the newsprint on the back of the label that was taken from the article where he was arrested. So he was a convicted arsonist. So
now, give me 1 second. Were you guys able to get this part over here, the burnt part of the logo? I think it's very beautiful. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I just want to make sure they get that part because it's so unique, you know, and beautiful.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And so that was sort of part of the inspiration. The rest of it is that he was kicked out of the family after this arson incident. So when I grew up in Walla Walla, Washington, I thought my grandfather was dead. My father thought his father was dead. Turns out that he was alive. We found him many years later living on the Oregon coast. He practiced dentistry in Portland, Oregon for 50 years. He was 85 when we found him, and he lived to be 101. And so we were able to reintroduce him to the family, and my father essentially met his father for the first time late in life, and I met my grandfather. So that was all the backstory for the Otis Kenyon wine. Otis Kenyon was his middle name and last name, and it's the middle name and last name of my father and myself and my son.
It's a beautiful story. I wish they can make a movie about it. You know, wine and your grandfather, 100-year one. You know, it's just very beautiful.
Yeah,
now, you know, we're gonna do a fashion show. We're gonna incorporate the logo, the wines, into the runway. Now, if I bring a designer and you meet with him or her, what would you tell them? How do you want to see your design into your logo, your wine in the runway?
Well, this is very dated. This is very sort of old-fashioned, but it's classic. If you could see this full-blown, he has a cigar in one hand and he has a glass of scotch or something in the other. So I guess I would tend to do something more sort of classic, staid, traditional, maybe a little bit, you know, retro. I wouldn't go necessarily back to the 20s, but something fairly conservative and that reflects the time of the story behind the label. Yeah. So something in that direction.
And this is definitely something that I will wear, something that I would really like to see in the runway.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.